had the worst sleep. Just constantly waking up, feeling unwell. And I also had trapped wind, which was really uncomfortable. It's like 8 a.m. now, and I'm just battling like waves of nausea. It's manageable, but it's just uncomfortable, and because I haven't had a good sleep, I'm just struggling.
7 weeks, woo! And nausea is getting more fun and fun every day. This morning, I didn't have the dry reaching feeling that I had yesterday. And funny that, because I had pizza last night, full gluten, full dairy, I didn't even care. And I had leftover pizza for breakfast and lunch, because honestly, that's all I wanted. And then for dinner, I had another kebab. So that's 3 kebabs in a row. And it's all just been amazing. To be honest, it's honestly made me feel better. Like, it really does make you feel so much better when you can eat something that you just really want, rather than forcing yourself to have something that just is going to make you feel sick. But yeah, this morning, like, rather than having that instant urge of just being like, feeling, it was just more that like hungover feeling where I was just like, oh yuck, I could just feel gross. And that just kind of carried on for like a couple of hours. So I potted around the house for a bit, laid outside because it was a really nice day. And then I just like did some stuff with my, like, making tea for my tea business, just to kind of like take my mind off it. And I found that did help a little bit. And then I, felt kind of okay. But now, like, as the night is kicking in, I think it's like 8 o'clock. I'm starting to notice that feeling again. Just like the last half an hour, I've just felt really, like, not even really nausea. It's more just like kind of like that shorter breath feeling I've been talking about. My heart's racing a little bit faster, and I just feel like really seedy, and I've also been getting like little bits of cramping again here and there. So it's, with that said, I feel like I'm complaining a lot, and it's actually all still pretty manageable, like nothing untoward, honestly. Again, like, it is only 7 weeks, and I know some people, it can like ramp up, like getting on a bit, but I definitely feel like this hasn't been anywhere near as bad as what I was anticipating. So that's good. Like, and I am always quite an optimist. Like, I always go into things expecting for the best. And I certainly am very happy with how things have gone so far, and always just super grateful anyway to be here. So I'm happy to deal with some symptoms. So only, like 6 days till our scan, which is so exciting. Cannot wait for that. Obviously, there'd be a lot of fear for a lot of people going into their first scan. It is actually called a viability scan, which is kind of like a little bit sad calling it a viability scan, but it is the reality. It's to check the viability, check if there's a heartbeat, and, if it's developing properly. I'm not going to lie that obviously it does like come into your mind every now and then, but to be honest, like, I've gone into this process so positive that I'm just really not allowing myself to feel negativity. Like, if the thought comes, I allow it to be there. I don't try and bury it and ignore it, but I'm just really enjoying all of it, like, just really, really grateful. So I don't want to be panicking. I don't want to be anxious. There's too much of that going on in the world. What a lot of pregnant women say is that if they start to lose their symptoms, they start to get worried. And for me, I actually had a really good sleep, just so good. I barely woke up until my husband's very loud alarm went off at 5 a.m. But that's okay. But then I kind of like just kept going back to sleep and probably overslept. But anyway, it was good to get a proper sleep, and I barely have any nausea this morning. Like, almost non-existent. Very, very mild in the background at a little stage, but it's hardly there. I was like, oh my God, what's happening? And I had this dream where like I had a bit of blood come out, which is normal anyway, if it was true. Like, a lot of women get a bit of spotting in the early pregnancy, but you know, it is like, you're like, oh my God, what's happened? Like, and you kind of like, bring it back, I want the nausea again. But yesterday, after seeing Miranda, which was really good, she just, you know, told me to increase the B6. So I was taking like 1 a day, but not religiously, but I am going to be taking 2 a day now. So I did that yesterday, plus took my Maltese, which I've kind of been like on and off with taking. So maybe that's already helped. And I think having a good sleep, and also I've reduced my stress a little bit on some things that have been going on in my family that I've just been like really worried about. And so I just had to kind of let go of that too. And I think that really helped me just get a better sleep, just feel better, more calm. I tell you what, I'm not looking forward today to I've got a full day of consults. I can't be bothered, but, you know, I'm still lucky that I only really consult 2 or 3 days a week. So I'll just get through it. You know, at least it is good that I don't have much nausea today and I got a good sleep, knowing that I've got a busy day. So I've got an hour till I have to start consulting, and one thing Miranda said to me yesterday is boil some eggs and eat them as snacks, because haven't really been eating eggs lately, and you know, I just have an aversion to so many things. There's things I don't want to cook. And she's like, see if you can boil some eggs. So that's a really good idea. I reckon I could actually eat some boiled eggs just on their own with like a bit of salt and pepper. So I'm going to do that. Just having a 20-minute break in between consults. Just had my first one. Oh my God. I can't do it. Like, I was good at the start, but because just before I had taken my pure needle, and I think I also took an iron supplement as well. Yeah, not fun, because it does make you feel a little bit sick. So I was like, oh no. So I've just been laying down, just had something to eat. And would you believe, out of all the things, this morning I've had 2 tins of salmon and on rice crackers. So that's kind of all I want to eat at the moment. I really don't want to eat anything else, but I just knew that I needed to eat something. Oh, I don't know how I'm going to do the rest of the day. I really don't. But at least I have 20-minute breaks in between each client. So I now purposely have set my bookings so that it automatically puts a 10-minute break in between my clients. But when I've been booking them in personally, I've like made sure there's actually a 20-minute break. So I think that'll help, because I'll just be able to have a little rest, regain myself in between each client, and then jump back in again. So I just thought I'd show you what I'm having for lunch, or what I've just had for lunch. Half a pack of butcher mix. That's honestly all I could eat right now. Like, it's been in the cupboard for ages. It was a little bit stale, but that is honestly all I could find that I was like, I could probably stomach that. I'm thinking maybe some rice crackers with some gluten-free Vegemite and butter. I heated up some leftover pasta, and even just the thought of it, I was like, no, I can't do this. No, gross. Oh, it's just so weird. It's so weird. And yet I've had 2 tins of salmon today on crackers. Yeah. There's no consistency. There is no consistency at all. Every day is different. The foods you usually like, you don't like. It's weird. Just soaking up the last 5 minutes of this break before I have my next client. I've got 1 half-an-hour consult, another half-an-hour break, and then a 1.5-hour consult. And think I'm starting to realize that I might need to cut my hours back a bit with practicing, because this is a bit exhausting. And going through the consult, like, there'll be times when I'll be fine, and then all of a sudden it'll just hit me, and I'm like just trying to like stay in the zone, and then I'll just be like, oh my gosh, I feel unwell. So I think I might just need to like limit how many people I can see a day. I made it through the day. Woo! Feels good had lots of beautiful clients. I just love my clients. They're just all such lovely people, and just like really on board to do the work, which is such, it's so good, because sometimes, like, no matter what profession you're in, it can be hard when you work with people who don't want to do the work, or they're difficult. But in the space that I've created, I barely get that anymore, which is just so nice. So even though I've been a bit tired today and just been a bit bleh, it's just made it that bit easier. So, and I have fertility clients, and one of them today was pregnant, and so it's like all on the same path as what I'm all about. So it's so good. But I'm definitely just feeling it now. I'm just like, I don't feel tired as in like I could go to sleep, more just like I just feel not great. Not even the nausea so much. I definitely don't have any appetite though. I can't even explain it. Like, it's actually hard to explain. But all I want to do is lay down. I regretfully am starting to go to bed later and get up later now. I'm hoping it'll change soon. But because I feel unwell in the morning, like, it does wake me up, but then like I feel tired, so I go back to sleep to try and like make up for the loss of sleep. So now I'm just like moving that later and later. And last night I went to bed before 10 with my husband, but I was just like laying there thinking of so much. And I also realized that I had a lot to do this week. Not a lot, like in the grand scheme of things, but more than what I've been doing lately. I'm doing a talk this Sunday for the Geelong Women Business Club event, which I'm really excited about, but I obviously need a plan. I'm also providing samples for all the guests, plus a door prize. I've got a wholesale order I need to put together, and, as well as clients and stuff. And then tomorrow we've got our first scan, which is so exciting. That's obviously the big next checkpoint. So, they term it a viability scan or a dating scan. So I think I'll go with dating scan. Viability sounds a little bit like upsetting, but it's reality. You can't deny that, that is the importance of that scan. But I've been remaining as positive as possible. I just noticed my echinacea's finally flowered. That is a good sign. So just have to remain positive, and I have been. I feel really good about it. Only thing, we have to travel to Ballarat, which is just under an hour away, but that's okay. It's all right. And yeah, but honestly, my nausea has been so much better. Like, it definitely like comes in little waves where I'll just like feel it a little bit more, but it absolutely is when I'm hungry. And so last night I ended up having, can you believe, I had tinned spaghetti at about midnight. Honestly, like, it's so weird. You just get all these weird cravings, and I've heard it from a few people now that you get cravings of things that you liked when you were younger, and that is absolutely happening to me. Like, I'm just being transported to so many memories of being like a child or a teenager and like the certain things that you ate. And so like last night we had baked potatoes, and like usually I do baked sweet potatoes and they're like super healthy. This one like wasn't super unhealthy, but this was like proper white potato. I even put like proper tasty cheese on it with like bacon, proper sour cream, beetroot, pineapple, and coleslaw. And I don't usually have dairy, but the last 5 days, like, all my dietary requirements have gone out the window. And what I've actually noticed, because I hear this a lot, that when you are pregnant, a lot of your gut issues go away, particularly also autoimmune conditions suppress, because your immune system is actually being suppressed because it doesn't want to, fight off this thing growing inside you. So in the first probably about 6 weeks of pregnancy, if I had wheat or dairy, I was still in pain and discomfort the next day. But I've actually started to notice, stupidly, I still push through it, that I've actually now not been getting that. So I just wonder if that's what's been happening. I definitely don't plan on making this a habit because I know that it's not good for me. But honestly, in the first trimester, you really just have to do what you need to do to get through. And there are some very, very specific foods that I only want to eat. Like the thought of anything else makes me want to gag. And honestly, the thought of any gluten-free options at the moment make me want to gag as well. Like even the thought of like the best gluten-free breads make me want to be sick. Like honestly, it's so bloody weird. Like it's like you are young again. So the tinned spaghetti, yesterday I was at the shops and I was like, I need to fulfill this craving. And this is the thing, often you fulfill it, might last a couple of days, maybe just once, and then that's it, it's done. You don't need it again. So it's like, you just have to do it. So I'm actually gonna have spaghetti again this morning for breakfast. Again, that's probably the only thing I really want right now. You know, I can't wait till I get to a point where I actually do want to eat healthy food again. I mean, I wouldn't say that I'm like eating absolutely atrociously either. Like I'm still trying to get like the most important nutrients in, and you know, I'm supplementing as well. So that gives me a bit of peace of mind. But I definitely am looking forward just to getting back to a little bit more normality, just being able to, you know, just wanting to have more things like stir fries and even like a veggie curry, or yeah, just more vegetables in general. I really don't want anything raw. That just makes me feel sick. Like honestly, everything at the moment has to be warm and cooked. Nothing, no raw salads, no raw dark leafy greens. Ugh, yuck. It's weird. So what do you see, Russell? Tell the camera.
Yeah, so look, we've got put one embryo in for you, but amazing, you've got twins, so fantastic.
We've got twins. I was just chatting to someone today saying like, if you do a single embryo transfer, it's not that much more of a risk like to have twins. Oh my god.
Yeah, so there you go.
What the hell? What the hell? Oh my god. So it's 6 p.m. and I can't believe I haven't even done a video yet because today was our scan. So this morning, we drove to Ballarat, which was a little bit challenging for my nausea, not gonna lie. You know, I've only been having mild nausea, but this time, halfway through the trip, I started to feel hungry. And as I've been saying, as soon as I start getting hungry, the nausea gets a bit worse, and traveling in a car isn't great at the best of times. I'm very breathless. I just had to put the bins out. Anyway, so we had the scan. So we're going in. He puts the thing up on the screen and instantly I saw 2 dots and I was like, no way, am I just not seeing this right? And a couple of seconds later, he's like, so I've got some news. Looks like you're having twins. I just could not believe it. Like I was literally laughing and crying at the same time. I just it was like, I was in shock, but also like excited at the same time. It was unreal. And honestly, like, we've joked about having twins so many times, and with IVF, the chances are like slightly higher, but a lot of people get confused with the risk of twins because it's mainly if they did a double embryo transfer, but we only did a single embryo transfer. So the risk of having twins is, last time I looked it up, was about 1.5%, and with non-IVF, like normal embryo, it's I think like 0.5 or to 1%. Apparently it's increasing because as you age, apparently there's a slightly higher risk. But identical twins, because the embryo has split. So it's just like, it's actually nuts. Like, it's one of those things that you never think is going to happen to you, and especially because there's no twins in my family. And so we're actually really excited. So they said we're at about he said we're just at about 7 weeks, which is a few days behind what he expected based on when we had the ovulation trigger. However, he said that this can happen with frozen transfer sometimes. So we're just going to have another scan in a week just to confirm the dating. But he wasn't really concerned or anything. He said 95% of the time it's fine. So we'll just have our next scan next week. Thankfully, we don't need to drive to Ballarat this time. We can have the scan in Geelong. So yeah, it's unbelievable, especially because we've only ever had like one boy's name and one girl's name picked out. Like we've known our names for like years. So now we're like, oh my God, we need to pick another one, which is actually exciting because we really want to try and tie in a name like from both sides of our family in some way. So we're really excited about that. Feeling very breathless though. Like I don't really have any nausea, but I just feel like that hungover feeling again, just like seedy and breathless and just a bit, just a little bit off, but nothing significant. I'm honestly feeling really grateful at the moment because I know so many people say that when you have twins, like the nausea is like through the roof. And that's one reason why I was adamant I wasn't having twins, because I haven't had that much nausea. And I was like, well, it definitely isn't twins then. And now this, I'm just like, are you kidding me? So yeah, it's pretty cool. And like seeing the 2 little jelly beans with little tiny heartbeats is just so cool. So, you know, Ed's super excited. He's excited that we get to like he calls it an instant tribe or instant gang or something, I can't remember, instant clan. Yeah, it'll just be so cute. And even more cute will be like if they had 2 little redheads, because obviously Ed's a redhead and boys are really dominant in his side of the family. So it'd be funny if we're just like 2 redhead boys. So cute. Anyway, very exciting. We'll just have to wait till next week's scan, but feeling really good about all of it.